Hello. It's nighttime and I've been working a bunch today already, so I'm just looking to do something small, probably. Something little. I hope work has been going well. It has been. I mean, it's a very large video game, so there's always just a ton of stuff to do, but we're just figuring out and refining how would I say? There's all these questions for any particular game about like, okay, so there's the minute of gameplay or whatever, that's fine, but like what's the overall structure? How do you get to the ending? What do you do to win and all that? And we've gone through a couple permutations of that, and we're getting pretty close to like what'll probably be the final thing. And yeah, so what I want to do tonight is maybe a little step toward that. And I'm just a little scared of like this kind of thing that I'm going to do now. It's very important that it is robust. So I'm just trying to, when I program these things, I'm doing them a little bit defensively. Like, how do I defend against edits over time? And like not, because, for example, if we have playtesters playing the game and, levels get scored a certain way, or like your progress through the game gets recorded a certain way, and that gets damaged by us editing the overworld and renaming levels or whatever, then that can wreck our playtests. And if our playtests aren't good, then we're not testing the final game as well as we can. And so extra problems could come up. Or also, though, I mean, we want to give ourselves as much latitude as possible for, if we patch the game, what kind of changes can we make without messing people up, right? All that kind of stuff. What about art? Do you have easily articulated principles? Okay, this is an interesting question. Here's what I will say. When I got into video games, I definitely had ideas about what would be interesting design-wise, and even what would be artistic design-wise, I guess. And what I would say is those ideas that I had, I mean, this is when I got in professionally, not when I was just like tinkering as a kid, right? What I would say is my ideas at that time, I would now categorize as mildly interesting, right? Like better than nothing, and honestly, maybe even better than average for game designers. But like they're a long way from. I developed a lot since then my capacity to have good ideas, right? And the question is, how do you do that? And the answer is you got to decide what's important to you, and you've got to let that guide the refinement of your all your decisions, right? You need a basis on which to make decisions about what's good and what's not. And what is that? And is it grounded in anything, or is it an arbitrary decision? Right? How do you track all this stuff? I mean, for me, I kind of just have a file with a to-do list in it that I go back to once in a while. But, you know, I also just kind of know what needs to get done, so I don't pay that much attention to that to-do list. It's more like to make sure certain things don't fall through the cracks. But also when we're shipping a game, we definitely use a bug tracking software. Yeah, I don't like my list. My to-do list is checked in. People could look at it if they want, but I don't think it's very useful for people, you know? If only because I don't take it that seriously, right? So it's not really a very accurate map of what I'm going to do in the near future. Okay. So here's the thing. This tower entity that we're looking at is going to be a thing that tracks Okay, hold on. I'm trying to remember how I did this. Does this have a tower ID on it? No. So there's maybe no way. Let me see. I know I wrote a little bit of code for the tower entity already, but I don't remember exactly what it was. Well, there was init tower right there, init towers. But like, is there anything? So when you solve a level, we can unlock tower. And when we init towers, we count the levels, and that's about it. So there's this whole thing about a tower is going to have a teleporter associated with it. And it's going to turn on that teleporter. And so we're gonna put a teleporter ID on here. Okay. And let's just make a new file for this. These are going to be important. All right. Let's make sure we still compile. Great. Okay. So, oh, this has got to be version 2. So when a tower has okay, so we're going to want like some state variables. So this just counts, right? We're going to need a function that gets called when a level associated with a tower is solved. What the towers do, so basically each tower has some number of levels associated with it. And when enough of those get solved, the tower activates and helps you get to the end of the game. You could think of it, if you know the Witness, you could think of it as being a little bit like a laser in the Witness, but not really. It's pretty different, but it's a little bit similar where you get enough of them and you can get to the ending, right? Okay. So, and I just want to make some progress on this. There's going to be a bunch of things to do still. But what, so let me just step back. Why am I doing this? This is a restructuring of how you get to the end of the game. And it involves, maybe I won't explain more, but it involves changing several layers of structure in terms of what we count, in terms of how do you get there. And the reason why I'm doing this is because the previous way that you unlock the ending of the game, I don't think gave players a very solid feeling of progress. It used to sort of be, instead of having a tower that activates this teleporter, it used to sort of just be that there was a teleporter out somewhere in the world, and if you got to it, you could take it, and then that would count toward unlocking things. And the thing is, that just doesn't work that well for a few reasons. We won't go into it. But this time, so we have some number of levels that'll sort of power up the tower to a sufficient level to where it can do its thing. And the reason that's good is it gives you a very tangible incremental progress every time you solve one of these levels. These are rare levels, and so you'll know in advance before you do them. Maybe you can't even get to it yet, but you see it and you're like, aha, that's a target, and that's a good thing for a player to have goals. And then secondly, it gives you a very tangible idea of how close you are, right? Like, oh, I've got 3 and I need at least 2 more, right? So those are good properties that the previous design didn't really have. And the thing is, the bigger the game is, the more you kind of need that to give structure to the game. Sounds like a whole thing. Yeah, it's like David S. Pumpkins. It's a whole thing. So anyway, we're just doing a little bit of stuff related to this. And we're going to do some cowabunga-oriented programming. Right? Why not? Like, dude, okay, so sometimes when tasks seem big, which this one does, and for some reason, I'm not super motivated. I did a different piece of this today, and it didn't take that long, and it was easy. So it's all going to be pretty easy, because none of this is rocket science. But for some reason, I don't know. I just have a slight little bit of like trepidation about implementing it. I don't know why. It's fine though. So maybe just because there's a lot of elements, like when I'm thinking like, how do we display this to people nicely? And like, what are the different icons going to be and all that? But all this is, it's solvable and it won't even take that long. All right. So we're going to do some cowabunga oriented programming. Here's what we're going to do. When we solve a level, I know that on level entry, I added a tower flags. And if this is non-zero, then it's one of these important levels. And we could just do some stuff about this right now. So let's do that. Tower related level has been solved. Now, what I was saying in the beginning about robustness, is going to lead me, I think, to write this function a little bit differently than I would otherwise. Anyway, we're just going to start writing things because none of this is hard. We're going to say tower is find target tower for this entry. If there's no tower, log error could not find a tower for whatever entry. So, we have a nice little print handler because we have better print functions than C++ or whatever. It'll tell us the entity type and the entity ID when we pass in any entity pointer. So we're going to do that. Okay, that's a content error that we should find just playtesting the game. So now we have a tower, and we're just going to cowabunga, right? We're going to go game report tprint cowabunga whatever tower. We're just going to print what the tower is. No check in that. All right. Find target tower. Sorry. For an entry. We're just going to go over every tower in the world. There are only 6. Well, there are O of 6, right? So there might be 12, there might be 20, but it's like not that much. And they're packed contiguously, so this is a relatively cheap operation. So this is very, again, none of this is rocket science, right? So we find the tower. We say tower related level has been solved. Okay. Now, actually, this is probably the wrong name for this function. Okay, let me show you. I'll run the game right now, not even with this code in it. I'll show you what happens when I go into a level and solve it, right? And I'm just realizing okay. I have a good, this level, uh-oh. I screwed up, guys. Oh, did I, you know, I said I'm not going to bother compiling, but remember when I left the version 2 off? That might have been the last compile is when this was missing, right? Let's see. Rust would have caught it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, keep believing that. Let's start in the overworld. You can't cowabunga in Rust? I mean, you probably can. Does the borrow checker check to see if you cowabunga? Yeah, I'm glad you like the stuff I've put out. All right, so that was the problem. That's great. And now, so these are actually our tower entities. They don't look like towers, but that's because the game's not done. And maybe I put one of them over. No, I put it elsewhere. Anyway, so I was going to just show you what happens when a level gets solved. Right, so I'm going to go here. This is a very simple level. Okay, we'll go out. Oh, you know what? Lol, that won't do anything because what I really, we don't do a fanfare when levels are solved right now. What I really wanted to show you is when things are unlocked. So like people have probably seen this before. So who, okay, we need to solve this level here. Actually, I can just cheat it from here, right? So when I solve it, there's a particle and a sound effect, and a timer ticks down, and then this thing opens up, right? So there's 2 timers. There's a timer to like, when do those sound and particles happen? And then there's a timer to when do we melt whatever was gating that thing, right? So we want to have a similar thing for towers, but probably with different timings, right? Because theoretically, you could have both happen at once. Like, let me show. So, for example, this big level here is one that would activate a tower, right? But this small level might unlock this thing. And so you might do a bunch of levels and come back and like both of them fire. And you kind of want things to happen at different cadences that we could tune, I guess. Anyway, so I think I've already sort of done some of that stuff. But that's what I want to hook up to this. So update tower unlocks. Is that being called? No. Update freezer unlocks. That's weird, because usually I would have done that. Oh, I did do it. I was like, I'm pretty sure I did it. I did do it. Just my search doesn't understand. Okay, so we have timers for this, and yeah, so I did this. These are basically copy pasta with different variable names. So this is to unlock freezers. This is to unlock towers. They're literally the same. Okay, so now we don't have a sound effect, and I can't change that right now. But we could make particles that don't exist. So let's do that. And then when we do this, see, this is just, we're looking up an entity ID here. So else log error. Oh wait, no, this is the entity. Never mind. Oh, right. So here we just want to say tower. Okay. This is a level entry. Entry. Tower related level has been solved. Entry. Else signaled tower unlocked but is not a level entry. That's just again a content error. E. Okay. So that's fine. We're not worried about that yet because like I said, we want to go here and go okay, did I do a tower version? Okay, good. So the way this works is you have a bunch of particles in a group, and you know, a lot of these are obviously still like not final particle systems, right? But whenever you spawn particles in the game, we just look through this level for those particles and we make them happen. So I want something that looks different. I mean, the thing is, I guess I kind of want gold color because the color of the towers is gold. Let's turn on the particle sources. So what is this from? Overworld. Oh, yeah. Okay. No, this is a good one. So this is going to be called level unlocks towers, and we're just gonna make this a little different. This is totally placeholder. Oops. All right, so whoa, what, dude? Come on, man. I didn't type the right thing. I said 0.5. Okay, so let's hide the group entity so we could see this better. Right there. Actually, yeah, so that, let's just make it bigger for now. Right now, all of those wait, why? Okay. All of those level entries are like the same size approximately. Why is this bursting? Oh, because it's a burst particle. Okay. So, or no, it's not. I don't know what's going on, dude. Okay. Opacity. It's bright. Still terrible looking particles. And then I just want to give these some acceleration. We'll give them a little growth. Oh, that looks nice. Not. Okay, this is going to be very recognizable as different. That's all that we're going for right now. So force in Z is going to be okay, and then I think things fade out a little too fast. Okay, that's it. Saved. We're going to restart the game because we don't reload that for some reason. Do you have dedicated particle VFX people? We did. Then we had to shrink our budget, but also, I don't know. It just wasn't. It doesn't make sense for a company this small to have that, because it shouldn't be enough work to be someone's full-time job, and if someone thinks it is, they're probably really slow and unproductive, you know. That's my opinion. All right, so will this do the thing? Seemingly no. All right, so It frickin' saved my game, dude. Now that's gonna be... I think we have an unsolve, so it should be fine, right? But I think... Do all particles use one big shader? Mostly. There are some specialized particles that don't, but most of them do. Yeah. How do I unsolve? I never do this. Unsolve is delete. There we go. So it's active but not solved. Wait, did I not check that in? I might have to check in some stuff off my laptop. Anywho. So let's check a couple things. So firstly, we want to check that this is flagged, not just that it's all big like Kanye the Giant, but tower flags is non-zero. All right. So how do we supposedly add it to here? Oh no. So this, we also save this in a database so that we don't do it more than once. So maybe we're going to comment this out just in case. All right, so and we're just gonna step through. All right, so update level set solved states. I don't actually know when. Maybe this function doesn't get called. All right, unlock. Okay, we are here. So if it's solved, okay, that's weird. I thought all right, let's try this again. Literally nobody. Okay. That's weird. Now this, I don't want to iterate, I don't want to step through this iteration because like all the solved levels are going to be in there. But we could start a fresh campaign that has no solved levels, right? But so let's just step through when we do this solve level entry. I never know where the key... Are they in player control? Solve level entry. Underscore solve level entry. Great. Okay, let's just go there. Let's just see what that does. Maybe that doesn't put us in the thing for some reason. Dude, I fucking do the thing that I had. The UI is so bad. All right. Solve level entry : Okay, so all right. Boom. So solve level. Note victory. Whoops. This is C++. Nothing. Okay, so we set the flag just to solved. We don't... Okay, this doesn't make sense anymore. This is really old stuff that doesn't frickin' make any sense. Okay, but we're not going to rat hole on that right now. All right. So, update level entry mesh entry. All right, so now when we get here, oh God. How big is this? All right. Only 18. All right. I don't remember the name of this level, but should only be one with tower flags, maybe? Oh, no. Those are the wrong tower flags. This should be hero and mirrors. Oh, geez. This is going to, like... Okay. We're actually... Okay, wait. This is... Why are we doing not solve T target here? You know what? I suspect, here's what we're going to do. I suspect when we get here, this solve t target is set, and this is the erroneous check. It's like erroneous monk. All right. So let's find out what level this is so we could debug. Where were we here? This is mirror clocks. All right. What file were we frickin' in? Freezers. This is one of these things where what we're trying to do is so stupid, and there's just a simple bug, right? And I think it is this. In fact, I think instead of not, I think it's literally supposed to be this, actually. Wait. Now here we set solve t target. All right. All right. 1 hour till screenshot Saturday. All right. So I think this is actually, I think this code. So what happened was there was old code here that just did this, right? What I suspect, and then I added the tower thing, right? What I suspect is this old code was never actually firing. Let's look for who sets the dot solved. Probably note victory, right? Note victory. Okay. Okay, you know what? Let's just get rid of this. This code that I said didn't, this does not make sense anymore. Long ago, in the beginning of the olden times, that made sense. All right. Anytime you can get rid of code, it's a good day. So note visit is putting it in the hash table that gets saved in your campaign save file. And then we modify the value. We say the level solved, we request autosave. This gets called when we go back to the level. So I wonder if somebody else is setting this. That's the only thing. Okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. Let's not worry about the tower thing. Let's ask the question. Whenever you don't understand what's going on, you just ask questions and you answer them, and then your idea of certainty goes up. Does this fire ever... I forgot the name of the level, but we could write it down again. Does this fire ever when we solve a normal level? And let's try it first like this. Okay, no, that didn't fire. So that's useful. Let me go into here. And I'll just cheat the dude to the exit. Does this fire? Oh, well. Multi. We've got multi-ball. It's a good level. Does that fire? No. So it is the case that this code literally never does anything. Okay. So that's fine. We can delete it. So who calls solve level is my next question, right? If this doesn't fire, who calls solve level? Well, somebody does. I mean, if we cheat it, we do, I think, but... All right. Solve level. Unlock old level intro. Oh. Oh. Right. Okay, that answers our question. So here's the thing. We used to reload the overworld every time you went back to it because it, you know, it was just another level. Anytime you go into a level, we load it, right? But a long time ago, some months ago, I was like, you know, you go into the overworld a lot. It's a bigger level. Loading it takes longer than anything else, especially on lower end machines. Let's just keep it resident in memory. But we do call this init level code on it sort of every time you go back into it. And that makes all this stuff happen. So yes, solve level is not ever called by this current code. That this update level set solve states. This function literally does nothing right now. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, so we ignore this. We ignore that too. We don't need to do any of that. Okay, hold on. Since this never fired, we don't have to worry about that. Okay. Cowabunga. That's not that visible of an effect, but that's fine. We're going to add much more other things to it. That's all we needed, is to get our cowabunga, and we got it. All right. So we actually want to take this W, but we want to fix any no check-ins. So I actually did that. Okay, that's literally... All right. So our cowabunga is firing. So that's great. And then we'll just take the W. And then we'll continue. We want to add some code for should the tower unlock its teleporter. I'm waiting for the source control. It takes a long time because we have like 3 million files. There we go. Started hooking up stuff that activates towers. Okay. Running game logic in a separate thread shouldn't be too expensive. Wait, a separate thread from what? From the rendering? That is extremely non-trivial. I mean, maybe Unreal just lets you do that. It syncs Gamebryo state every frame. I mean, yeah, that's what I would expect, is that there's like a Gamebryo emulator layer. All right. So, we're going to add some state variables to the tower. Okay, so if a tower is not activated, actually, here we'll say old tower level count is tower.num level entries. And that here, let me explain. For robustness reasons, so that we don't accidentally double count levels when weird race conditions happen or when level names get changed during playtest or in patches. Anytime we believe there is a tower score change, we recompute everything. Okay, so a new tower level count. All right. So here we'll go game report tprint Oh, we're going to call this total level entries and solved level entries. All right. So tower.solved level entries, tower.total level entries. So really, so what we're going to do is we're going to add a field onto the tower. Yeah, let's do this. Levels required. All right. We're not using that yet because we don't want to go setting it. If tower.solve level entries is greater than or equal to 2, activate tower. All right, so what is that? Sound event tower activate. That sound effect doesn't exist, and I can't add it because I don't. WY's audio team will have to do that. All right, so in between old and new tower count, we're going to call okay. Now, so this is going to recompute the solved level entries and the total level entries. All right. So okay. And then total level entries. If something, then the solved level entries. Oh, you know what? No, you know what? We're fine. We don't need to keep looping there. So, so we're going to do this. We're going to get the campaign state. We're going to look for this. Oh, this is the wrong code. Yeah, this is what we want. Entry.level name. The entity name thing is a different hack for a specific level. All right. So if Okay. There we go. Whoops, we're overloading the word found. Level found. Overloading the word found, num level entries. Total. Manager. I would like to talk to the manager, please. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. So first of all, if I keep solving the same level over and over, it should stay at 1. It shouldn't like double, triple, quadruple count it, right? Boom. Okay, that was weird. Why didn't we cowabunga? Oh, because our new level count. Oh, because... Right, okay. So that was fine if that's what happened. The code was actually being correct. It's just this is a weird case that never happens in gameplay because you don't unsolve levels in this game. So this isn't a thing that we really want any visual feedback for. So the fact that there's no visual feedback means I can't exactly test it like that. Okay, I put a new line in a thing. All right, unsolve, solve, new count 1. All right, so you see how there's a timer there? That's that timer code that I was talking about. Old count 1, new count 1. Great. Okay, let's go to a different level. That's THICC. There's 1. Solve it. 1? Bruh! Why does it keep saying 1? I mean, this looks right, yeah? For every level entry, if it's got tower flags, we look for the tower. Is new tower count set? Yeah. It's literally right there. Literally right there. So what I could do is pass in a little debug thing. That's to remind me to delete our little debug tower. All right, so tower, entry, success, level found. All right. So this, we'll get rid of our little bullet. The new line shows up as a bullet for some reason. All right. See, this is like why, like I just wasn't feeling super motivated because I knew that this is just going to be like this. But it's fine because once this is in there, we can just make it look and feel nicer, and that's maybe a little more fun. You know, part of it, what it is I've been working on this game forever. And I'm like, really? This isn't done? See, now it's 2, interestingly. So now it gets it. But we're not logging literally anything. Why are we not logging literally anything? So we're going to do that, but we're also, like, we're just going to call this with verbose. All right. Hey, Raphael Luba. Windows got activated. Yeah, I wanted to watch episode 1 of Andor tonight, and I didn't want to do it with stuff on the screen. So I activated Windows so that would go away, and then I watched the episode and it sucked. So, I mean, it started out fine and then it sucked. So I was sad. Maybe it'll get better. Maybe it'll get better. Andor season 1 I mostly really liked. Like, it is really the only good Star Wars show that, certainly in the Disney era of Star Wars, right? Like, season 1 is definitely, like, it's worth watching. Season 2, I don't know, man. I'm only 1 episode in, but wait, we're not even printing anything. What is going on? Bro, what is happening right now? You know what? We're not calling this. We're not calling this because remember that flag? We're checking that. Have we registered the tower win flag? All right. So now we still got a count of 2. We called it fucking 3 times. What is going on, dude? Why did we call it 3 times? Why are we calling it times the number of levels that there are? This is like super messed up. And we're still not printing anything. Guys, this is a disaster. We should be printing this because we do this at level startup. All right. The line must be drawn here. So here's where we spawn our particle group. Wait, was that happening there? It is, right? It's slow. I just felt like, I mean, I'll reserve judgment for a bit. It's just like, hey, I mean, I don't want to give any spoilers, but hey, Andor's doing something important and gets waylaid by some wacky situation that's going to trap him for this 3-episode arc from getting to the next thing. And it's like, can we just, why can't TV shows just let important things happen rather than filling out the time? You know? And then like, hey, there's this party where the spies are at, and they spend the whole scene, every scene at the party is them just wondering where Andor is and when he's going to get there. Like, really? Can we not like fucking have something happen? It's like the writer's primary job is to fill time for all the episodes. You need subtitles to understand Andor. I was noticing that on a few lines of dialogue. It definitely had a little bit of Christopher Nolan going on. Now, here's the thing. A friend of mine actually wrote 3 episodes of Andor. So I'm hoping at least his episodes are good. But it would be better if all the episodes were good, because everybody was saying, the pre-reviews were all saying the shows was good. I'll be back in a second. I got to get my Japanese snack box because I'm hungry. Okay, what do we got? Can't read any of it. 1 semester of Japanese in college was not enough. Oh, I got some orange gummies. Let's eat some orange gummies. You like the scene where the third Renault brother swept up the Big Bang bar for like 5 minutes in real time. Yeah, that's in a different category. Feels like many people don't mind having their time wasted by filler slop. Maybe. I do wonder if the audience is just self-selecting, right? Like, at this point, That's who watches TV shows, is people who don't mind filler or who like filler, right? And once in a while there will be a TV show that's huge and gets a lot of people's attention, but maybe for most TV shows, that's just who watches them. Could this be a product of aging? No. Well, I mean, definitely if you're exposed to more things and you've seen stuff that's good and you have standards, yeah. But there have been a lot of shows that didn't have this problem. So like Deadwood didn't have filler at all, ever. Season 1 of Severance didn't have very much filler. To pick a more recent example. Have I seen Devs? Yes. I really liked the show until it jumped the shark and ate its own feces in the last few episodes. It was horrible. And it's so sad too, because there's an awesome, there's an awesome ending for season 1 / how does the show become really trippy and crazy going into season 2. I've talked about it before, what it should have been. It's so easy, dude. But yeah, I'm going to hope Andor is not all filler. The thing is, the casting is good, the acting is good. But it's like, literally they have all these high-powered actors walking around going, "Where's Andor? I don't know. Have you heard from him? No." And that's like the whole thing. Okay, what the hell is going on here? The great thing about a late night stream is it's all gravy. I already did my work day, right? So anything I do now is bonus. So I don't care how much I get done. All right, so what the hell is going on? So we're getting to here, right? Level signal tower unlock. Okay. So I guess we just put all three of them in here every time. So that's... That's one thing we want to do. It isn't the problem right now, though. Okay. Power-related level has been solved. Boom. Oh, God, guys. Why didn't I just read the code? This was originally written as a one-time init function, and I'm trying to call it... Come on, man. Vanilla ice cream cone. You know what? Let's just leave that part. Okay, I'm typing nonsense comments. All right. Here we go. Yeah, one advantage of programming for so long is I've been stuck on dumb bugs for a long time, many times. And your brain just like, your brain knows what the hell is the deal and just jumps ahead at some point. It just jumps ahead. It's like, oh. Although that one, if I had stepped the cursor, it would have gone out of the function. So that would have been obvious, but didn't even need to do that. All right. Okay, why? Wait, that's the wrong window. There we go. Okay, we're getting our printouts. Solved. Debug tower. Okay, this is all happening now as we wanted. We don't really want it to be happening 3 times, but it will. So now we're going to go to a 4th one. Let's do that one. Whoops. Uh-oh. Boop. There we go. Tower score now 4 out of 10. Did you see that? Or whatever. There's other garbage. 5 out of 10. Okay. So we'll use this as a test thing now because it shows 2. So now every time I solve this one, it's going to put particles on both of them, right? Or no. So it's going to put particles on all the solved ones. So if I go here and solve it, now both of them. Yeah, and we don't want that. We only want the new things. Anyway, though, it's an improvement. Okay, I got to fix this, by the way. Let's get rid of debug tower. Okay. We're just going to take the W on that. And then I'm going to merge in some changes off the laptop. All right. Code related to powering up towers. Streaming has to be distracting with lost focus. Yeah, it is a little bit. Okay, you cannot see this, but I've got my new laptop, the ThinkPad X1 Carbon, which, by the way, it's a little too small. It's like 14 inches or 13, I don't even know. It's very lightweight. It's got an Intel integrated GPU that's a little bit slow running the game. CPU is a little bit slow, but you know what? In the last couple days I've been using it, it is a tremendously better experience than all these much bigger ass fucking Razer and Asus and all these shitty ass gamer laptops that don't work anymore. This is way better, and we've identified a 16-inch ThinkPad next month that also doesn't have a discrete GPU, but that's going to be a lot faster in other ways, and that's going to be baller. So we may upgrade at that time. Didn't go for AMD. I mean, there was no new current model AMD Intel machine. They were all old, or sorry, AMD ThinkPad. They were all like older, kind of shittier, older generations that I could find. But anyway, it's so much better, dude. So much better. Why do GPUs not work in laptops? I don't like. Why do trackpads not work in laptops? Why does fucking sleep not work in laptops? Right? It's like theoretically it should be this integrated system where everything is designed to go together and it just works. But like the quality level has fallen so much, nobody expects any of this stuff to even work anymore. Like it's just ridiculous. Like why are these laptops completely unusable now? And like why this is the thing that gets me. Why do laptop reviewers just fucking lie about this nonstop? Like these machines are literally unusable and they'll fall apart on you in a matter of months. And like nobody ever says it. It's like I'm the crazy person who says these machines aren't good. Fucking Dave 2D is just always slobbering over the latest laptop and how thin the bezels are. And I'm just like, motherfucker, it doesn't even work. You can't even turn it on anymore regularly. Like that's what was happening with both the framework and the Razer. Like you couldn't always turn it on. It's like trackpad stops working and the mouse disappears sometimes until you restart the laptop. I also had that problem. I hope it's not a framework 16. If you're talking about a framework 16, you're on the one-way road to complete laptop destruction. Like I I can't believe the level of lying that happens in the laptop review industry. And again, I guess it's like TV shows. It's like it doesn't matter if your review is accurate because there's no accountability ever. I don't know. And so if there's never accountability from the audience, then of course you're not really going to say what the problems are because that's only got downsides, right? That will only get the manufacturer mad at you and not shipping you more free machines. But you can repair the framework. Yeah, you can't repair this without replacing the motherboard and everything else probably. Have I checked out the Lenovo P1 Gen 7? I mean, okay, here's the thing. The P1 had a discrete GPU, I think. So fuck that. I'm over it. I am no longer buying discrete GPU laptops. Fuck them. Does the X1 Carbon have European cores? I think so, unfortunately. Like a lot of the higher end ThinkPads have discrete GPUs, and I just refuse at this point. Macs are good. Citation needed. Because of poor cooling. No, there's not like one problem. There's like 700 problems. And that's not even an exaggeration. Like if you buy a Framework 16 or a modern Razer or any of this stuff, there are 700 problems. And you will never get to the end of experiencing the problems. X1 has a haptic touchpad option. Yeah, but you have to get without buttons if you do that. And like, it's just not a good idea. Not having trackpad buttons is a terrible idea. So I don't care if it's haptic. Give me the buttons. Does the laptop have a Copilot key in place of control? Yeah, this one has one in the place of the right control key, unfortunately. How much will the game cost? $20 million. Yeah, you have to play it Iron Man. There's no undo, and if you get stuck or you die, then you need to pay another $20 million to continue. It's my new revenue model. Should a game get input if the window is not in focus? Well, here's the thing. How sure are you that you're not in focus, right? How sure are you that the player doesn't have some weird crapware running on their machine that decides to pop itself up as an invisible topmost window, right? Like that happens. Laptops aren't for serious dev work. I mean, here's the thing: is like just like Alex Jones. Here's the thing: I'm kind of retarded, and like my particular retardation is I just like to be out at coffee shops or somewhere in the world working on my stuff. I don't like being at home as much. I do it sometimes, like right now or whatever, but I like being out during much of the day. And you know, I'm not going to bring a desktop machine to the coffee shop. Even though, like, it just is better to run on a desktop machine. It's faster, it's more powerful, it doesn't have all these instability problems. Just having the bigger monitor, it just helps. Having the better keyboard, it just helps, right? But I'm kind of retarded, so yeah. Okay. Let's get a little bit more done here and then we can call it a night. So we're adding multiple things every time to this. So this tower unlock signaled is maybe never getting set, right? Well, it claims it is. Well, okay, there's a function that does it. Note tower unlock. Literally nobody calls it. There we go. That is our thing. Let's do that. I don't know why this isn't saved. I'm a little worried about that. Okay, so if we do this, we're saving in the save file that this level entry well, no, wait, that's the other thing. No, yeah. So there's multiple bits, right? This bit says you solve the level. This bit says we put the power in the tower from you solving the level. Type wanted string. All right. If Starbucks wasn't a hospital room now. Yeah, I mean, there are some that are slightly better than others, but yeah, they really fucked up Starbucks. Okay, so that one did the particles. Now when we do this one should do the particles and the other one should not. Hey, wait, 5 out of 10? I guess, let's see. 1, 2. Oh, you know what? We might not have saved the fog of war. 3. Because, like, they go in 2 different files. The fog of war is, like, in the undo history for this. Oh, yeah, there's that one. And then we did this one down here. Yeah. Okay. So 6 out of 10. Yeah, baby. So now the problem for testing is if I do this, we don't clear that bit, I don't think. Yeah, so we don't fire the logic. If I want to test this more thoroughly, I'll just make the developer keystroke fire the logic for that thing. All right, so I think that's maybe it for tonight. That's good. Oh, you know what? No, we'll do one more thing. Remember this activate tower. We're going to do a couple things. These last things are easy, so we're just going to do them. So we're going to go for activating the tower, manager, tower.teleporter ID, teleporter. If we didn't find it, log error. Tower.teleporter ID. Okay, return. Okay, so I think I can call activate or enable. Yeah, let's go look at that. Discover teleporter. I think I was in. Enable teleporter. Enable teleporter. Okay. So we're going to want that. And we want to actually use, instead of this 2, we're going to want to use the, I don't know, tower levels required. All right, there's more stuff we're going to want to do. I guess we're going to draw a little status on the HUD about how many levels have you got out of how many you need. That's one of those annoying things that I don't want to do, but it's fine. All right, we're just going to type this stuff. Great. And then we'll take the W, and then I'll go to bed, and we'll test it later, because we're going to do more things. We're going to, like, put this particle system and stuff. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. And yeah, we'll see you later on. We're doing this bit by bit. There'll be some fun stuff to do later. Like the problem with having the audio guys use WY is it's not easy for me to put in temporary sound effects like I would normally do on a game. So, like, I want to have proximity sounds for the special levels and whatever. And they'll, like, glow importantly before you see them, or when you see them, before you solve them. Like, all these things, and we can just add those one at a time. But I want that to be my priority, because over the next week or so, I just want all this progression restructuring to be done so that the playtesters could try out that progression method, and we'll see how it feels, because I think it'll be much better than what we were doing currently. But this is how we try the idea, is we try the idea. All right, thanks everyone. See you later.